All right, gents, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Glen Wilson on the Zoom. He's in Bristol today. He's a very busy man, but he's given me 10 minutes of his time. Glen, he's just come to the end of his 12 weeks in the fat loss code. Tell everyone how you got on.
Really well, thanks. It's £20 down. So yeah, very happy with how it went. Coincided with the end of the summer holidays and some holidays, so probably a period where I would have gained weight. So to go £20 in the other direction, I'm really pleased. Yeah.
So £20, I mean, that's obviously the number on the scale, which is great, fantastic, stone and a half nearly in English money. But the number's not really the goal. Tell me how things have changed. Like obviously, you where you were before, you've dropped that £20. How has that changed, or how has it affected your life in a positive way going forward?
I think I think several ways. So I think getting £20 off, particularly off fat, I feel a lot better for it. So like a few men my age, blood pressure is a bit of an issue. So the blood pressure's come down with the weight loss. Um, Feeling a lot, I suppose, a lot more confident, a lot
Yeah.
more comfortable in your own skin. Clothes fit a lot better. Some are getting a bit baggy. Which is nice. And I think you have a more positive outlook on things. And also I think it just gives you the program gives you a focus and a structure, which is relatively easy to maintain. So yeah, on the whole, it's had a lot of benefits.
Awesome. So, well, look, what was it about the program that made you stick to it? Because I know you may have tried different things
Yeah.
before, had some success, and we started working together. And the program works if someone follows it. But what was it that made it sort of work for you?
I think that the thing I liked was probably the attraction to it was kind of the accountability. So the kind of the peer group stuff. So the involvement with others on the same journey. I think when I've done these things in the past, it's been very much kind of one-on-one,
Yeah.
quite isolated. And I think it works. For me, it's always worked to a point, and then I either get bored or kind of undo the good work that has been done. So for me, yeah, it was the real kind of peer accountability and sense of kind of belonging. I think was kind of the big thing for me, which really helped.
I guess that's the mixture of the WhatsApp group and the coaching calls, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely that, absolutely that. I think the WhatsApp groups are, you can involve yourself as much as you want, but
You can pull
they,
yourself out, can't you?
yeah, but just seeing messages uh from other men on the same journey, similar challenges, how they're not even really not always succeeding. You learn that everybody has the different trials and tribulations. Everybody has weekends away. Everybody slips up. Everybody has bad days, and it just gives you that boost that if you have a bad day, draw a line in the sand, start again tomorrow. And yeah, it gives you that sense of, I don't know, a bit more accountability, that you want to succeed and you want to do what other people are doing and you want to show others that you can do it and you're committed. So I think it's just that sense of having yeah, a bit of accountability.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we keep the program pretty simple because fat loss is actually the actual process is very, very simple.
Yeah.
The implementing the process is not always that's always tricky. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a job. So touch wood, it is actually very complicated for some people. But what was the biggest takeaway from what you learned over the 12 weeks? Like what the big, I didn't really realize that. Was it the nutrition side? Was it the training? Was it the tracking? What was the
I
biggest?
think it's definitely, I'd combine two of those. I'd definitely say it's the nutrition and the tracking. So, I've never had a problem with training. I like training, so I
Yeah,
train as much as I
I
can.
actually told you to cut down a bit, didn't I?
You did, yeah. Which was sensible. It made it more sustainable and gave me more energy. So, the bit, you hit the nail on the head. When we get a message off you every week, weight loss is boring. It's monotonous. So that's one of the hardest things, that you can't lose £20 in a week. it's a series, it's a compounding effect of doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I think it's just the biggest realization for me was, which sounds ridiculous, is it's not how many calories you have in a day, it's how many you have over a week or how many you have over a month.
Awesome. Yeah.
So just because you have one bad day doesn't mean you've written it off. It means you can make it up over the week. And it sounds so logical, but you don't tend to think about, people don't tend to think about that on diets. It's tend
No,
to be,
no one,
I've had a
no one,
bad day, I'll throw it out the window, I'll start again on Monday.
no one gets
Whereas,
taught that, do they? No one
yeah,
gets taught that.
no. So
That is ultimately the crux of the whole thing. And
yeah,
you've hit the nail on the head. That is exactly that. Once people understand that, that's the ticket to unlimited fat loss with at
yeah,
ease to a certain extent. Yeah.
yeah. So that was, I think that combined with tracking. So I've used kind of calorie tracking a lot in the past. And I think just combining the two, previously you end up kidding yourself a little bit, or you'll have a perfect day, but then you'll go out and have 5 pints on a night and not include them, because you don't want to ruin your calories for the day. But when you're doing it over a longer period, you can be a bit more honest. So the just having that actual, and you realize how quickly you can undo, a week's worth of work can be undone very quickly over a poor weekend. So it's tracking everything, but realizing it's an average over the long term, not a one day that makes a difference. So that they were the two probably key things for me
Awesome.
that I learned.
Look, I get a lot of guys when I speak to them and I tell them they're not going to have to eliminate anything in their diet. So just to, and you know that to be true, but just to for someone that might be watching this, is that actually the case? Did I ever say at any point in the 12 weeks you couldn't eat or drink anything?
No, no, absolutely not. And I did whatever I wanted to do. So I've been away on a couple of holidays during the program. I've not held back. You do make more conscious decisions,
Exactly.
but you know you realize that you can do whatever you want, but you've got to make up for it at some point, or it's going to take you longer to get to your goals. So, no, 100%, I haven't given up anything. I've just made the choice to do a bit less of some things.
And well, look, that is the key because so many people come into this thinking they've got this all or nothing
Yeah, yeah,
lifestyle. Think they need to be at the gym 5 days a week and eating chicken and broccoli from Tupperware. They've
yeah,
got this misconception, and that's what losing weight is. And if they have a beer or a curry at the weekend, they can't stick to their diet and they fail. So
yeah,
it's really important that people understand that. Look, most people don't believe me. When I tell them they can still eat their favorite foods, they just can't eat all of their favorite foods
yeah,
all the time.
yeah,
I see people thinking, he's talking shit. I've never been on a diet that. So it's good that you said that. Look, right, last couple of questions. I know you're a busy man. If there was someone else was watching this and they were on the fence, because I speak to a lot of people every week, some join, some don't, as you know. What would be the one piece of advice you've been through the program? What would you say to them to maybe push them in potentially the right direction in joining the program?
yeah. I'd say, I think I'd say if you are serious about wanting to do things, wanting to make a difference and lose, a set amount of weight that you have as a goal, this is one of the best ways to give yourself a realistic opportunity to do it. You can do it on your own. You can do it using extreme diets, but none of that is going to last. If you want to make if you want to learn how to make a sustainable change, and you're actually serious about it, this is a great way to do it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Last question. Has it been a worthwhile investment on your part, Glenn?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. It's it gives you structure, it gives you discipline, it gives you accountability, and it gives you the tools to make the right choices. In the end, it comes down to whether you want to do it or not, but it makes it far easier and removes a lot of obstacles, and the effect gives you that accountability that it makes things so much easier than probably trying to do it on your own.
Amazing. Look, gents, there we have Mr. Glenn Wilson, 20 pounds down after 12 weeks. Look, if you want the same sort of result that Glenn has achieved, it simply starts with a 15-minute phone call. And here's the thing, I will actually tell you on the call exactly what we're going to do in the program. Now, you won't believe me, but I will actually give you a game plan. Say we're going to track, we're going to do this, but it all starts with that 15-minute call. Go to best place to find me is LinkedIn or gavgillibrand.com/book a call. We'll grab that 15 minutes and we'll see if you're a fit and we'll take it from there. Glenn, you've been an absolute gent, my man. Thank you for everything. All the best.
Thank you. Cheers.